If you think Naples is still just a quiet, sleepy beach town, think again, because this city is currently undergoing one of the most explosive transformations in its history. The local map is literally being redrawn as we speak by multi-million-dollar redevelopments that are completely rewriting the landscape. So we're seeing world-class brands stake their claim here, from the highly anticipated beachfront Four Seasons resort and luxury towers on Vanderbilt Beach to massive lifestyle additions like the new multi-story Restoration Hardware rooftop experience at the Waterside Shops, major retails pushing into East Naples. The area is really transforming. Even our historic landmarks like the iconic Naples Pier are getting complete facelifts to be a little bit more resilient for storms into the future. So whether you're a longtime resident, a prospective buyer, or just someone looking to invest in the area, the changes happening right now are going to impact everyone. In this video, we're going to break it all down. Whether you love it or hate it, Naples has some of the biggest projects coming into the state of Florida. So let's dive in. Okay, before we jump into this, I just want to tell you that somebody is mowing the lawn. So if you hear that, I'm going to do my best to talk over it. I apologize. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear it or not. I'll try to talk right into my microphone. So yeah, a lot of changes going on with the Naples landscape. Some of you are going to be excited about it, and some of you are going to absolutely hate it. And I get that. You know, when I first, many years ago, moved to Naples. So let's actually go back to the very, very first time that I visited Naples. I was in my late 20s, and I went to visit my little Italian grandma who was living in Naples. And I fell in love with it. And I remember I had just gotten my real estate license. And in my mind, I was like, wow, I really wish that someday I could sell real estate here in Naples, Florida. This is beautiful. And it's funny, you know, how you plant a seed and later on in life, there you are. But that said, the very first hotel that I ever stayed at was at the Naples Beach Hotel, the old one, the one that's been torn down. I loved it. I thought it felt like the building we stayed in, I know I'm zigzagging, the building we stayed in was only 2 floors high. So we were literally right on the water. We just thought it was absolute Shangri-La, absolute paradise. So as time passed and they started talking about tearing it down, I just actually felt, I don't know, I don't want to say heartbroken, that's kind of extreme, but in a way, you know, I just felt like that the charm of that building, you know, and now they're going to put up a Four Seasons, super fancy, and I guess time and place, you know, things evolve, things change, and the family that owned that beautiful little hotel, maybe they wanted the multi-millions, billions, I don't know what they paid for it, I don't remember, but now it's going to be magnificent. So let me just give you a little bit of what exactly it's going to be. So Naples Beach Club, 4-season resort. So it says it's going to, this is how they describe it, a massive 125-acre Gulf front redevelopment in Old Naples, one of the most talked about projects in Southwest Florida, I would agree. Phased residential move-ins are the beginning, and then it will feature a redesigned Tom Fazio 18-hole golf course. Remember, there was a golf course there. I remember the golf course. Private beachfront access and a luxury resort complex. Now, some of my higher-end buyers are asking about it already. So, you know, I know it's going to be very popular, and time and place, there are going to be some folks that are like, yeah, that's absolutely me. The other thing I wanted to talk about is the Ritz-Carlton residences in Naples. So there are, if you're familiar with Naples, You've got the Ritz-Carlton residences that are in Estero in those big tall towers. So the other highly anticipated project is the Ritz-Carlton residences. So let me give you the details on that. So that's going to be located at Vanderbilt Beach Road and Gulf Shore Drive. I remember when they were trying to get approval for all this. Highly anticipated project featuring 128 luxury waterfront residences across from the beach. So the initial occupancies will roll out this year. If that is you and that speaks to you, reach out. We have a ton of information on that. I don't know if you guys remember, but that took a long time to get that approved. That's going to be amazing. And again, this is not a conversation about should they do it? Should they have done it? Is Naples going to change? There's always going to be people that are going to feel like, wow, they're ruining our cute little Naples. The thing is, you can't stop that kind of progress. All you can do is move on from it. That's why I think a lot of people are kind of pushing up north a little bit. I've said this a lot on my videos that I find Venice, downtown historic Venice, to be kind of like the Naples mini junior version, more in reach for regular folks. If you're not an 8 or a 9 figure buyer, you might really love Venice. There are so many people that I talk to on a daily basis that want downtown Naples, and then they realize that you're going to spend a lot of money to get like a smaller condo, maybe low ceilings, maybe popcorn ceilings, maybe no laundry in your unit, maybe a really small pool. And it just, the trade-off isn't worth it. So a lot of times people will push up to Venice because it's a lot more in reach. Is it dirt cheap? No. Is anywhere in the area dirt cheap? Absolutely also no. But you can find something really nice for $400,000 to $500,000. So good choices there. You can even get something less. You know, if you're willing, if you want golf or something like that, we're seeing amazing. I'm diverting here, but we're seeing really good deals right now in Welland Golf and Country Club, the condos, the little golfing condos. If you're willing to do a social membership, so you get everything essentially except the golf, those are in the 200s. So there is kind of we can find a product for almost everybody. Now, the minute I say that, somebody's going to call me and tell me that they want a beachfront condo for $110,000. So can we find that? No. Epic at Pelican Bay. So you all know Pelican Bay, that's west of 41. Pelican Bay is huge. They have a really nice beach club. The tram will take you out to the beach club. All different price points in Pelican Bay. I would say they're going to open right now around, let's say the low 400s for a nice condo, on up to, you know, multi millions. But it's a really large, Pelican Bay is a large development. Like I said, there's different things for everybody there. There's homes, single family homes, there's all different products, golfing, although there is a long wait list on the golf right now, beach club, the whole bit. So Epic at Pelican Bay is going up, and it's one of the final luxury high-rise opportunities within Pelican Bay. So offering 68 very large residences. There's private beach access, also private access to the club, and all of Pelican Bay's amenities. So I don't know what they're going to do with the golf. Like I said, Pelican Bay's golf has been locked out for a long time. There's been a long waiting list. So I don't know if they've done something with that or not, but that could be something that you're interested in. And then also moving into the retail and dining. So if you're familiar with the Waterside Shops, that is the kind of Miami-esque high-end shopping, think Louis Vuitton, things like that, you know, kind of way up there. Not your typical Coconut Point mall shops. Much, much nicer. So that is undergoing an entire renovation. And honestly, I feel like it's been needed. So let me read to you what it says here. The upscale mall, it's an outdoor mall, by the way, if you were unfamiliar, is continuing its high-end makeover, featuring a signature rooftop restaurant currently undergoing vertical construction on the old Nordstrom footprint. So in other words, going up. Additionally, a brand new 2-story out parcel housing Williams-Sonoma and Pottery Barn have recently opened. Those are regular mall shops, but if you haven't been to Waterside, it is a very exclusive experience. Now, a couple other things I want to tell you about that you might be excited about. In the East Naples corridor, Costco is opening. Whole Foods is opening, a highly anticipated 25-acre commercial development at the southeast corner of Collier and Rattlesnake Hammock Road. So that's exactly where the Costco is going to be. Personally, I'm glad to see that develop out more and more because I do think it's needed. There's a lot in East Naples, but there's room for a lot more in terms of folks being able, the livability of folks to be a little bit better, and also taking the pressure off of that Costco, the one Costco that's kind of middle ground. It just gets absolutely flooded with people. And then let me give you one more update that a lot of people ask me about, the Naples Pier rebuild. So that pier went down during Hurricane Ian. So that goes back a few years. That was the big one. That was the one that just decimated Fort Myers, Sanibel. That was a big storm. So that took the pier down again. And finally, they're going to start rebuilding the pier in a stronger way. I always felt like the pier should be built more along the lines of the one that's in St. Augustine Beach, or towards Jacksonville, where you've got those big, deep concrete piers, just built stronger, because in a hurricane, those waves, the wind, that's taken the pier down multiple times. So it says, following catastrophic damage from Hurricane Ian, the city is moving forward with a completely redesigned, highly resilient pier structure. Built to meet modern federal and state storm standards, the new pier will be raised at least 3 feet. That's awesome. Feature heavier pilings, absolutely needed, and offer an updated layout to enhance the experience for visitors and fishermen alike. So a lot of new things going on in Naples. And like I said, I know for those of you that have been in Naples a long time, myself included, and although I'm not in Naples now, I'm in Estero. So a lot of us, when we say Naples, maybe you mean Bonita, Estero, because most people move through those communities sort of on the day-to-day to get through their shopping. They spill one right into the other. That itself makes up Southwest Florida. And Naples is a big part of Southwest Florida. So I would say, like I said in the beginning, time and place. And if it just isn't working for you, you might be able to shift a little bit farther north and get that sort of sleepy town, fisherman village sort of feel that you love. But if you're somebody that loves the growth and maybe you want to live a few 3-5 miles outside of it, but you love the availability of all the newness and you realize that it's going to help increase your real estate value, then Naples just might be the place for you.